Good Monday afternoon. Thanks for joining us. The man suspected in setting fires inside two mosques made his first appearance in federal court this morning. This comes after nearly a week-long search for him. The suspect's name is Jackie Little, and he faces federal arson charges. The documents in court alleged Little started a fire in the bathroom of the Masjid Omar Islamic Center last Sunday. The very next night, authorities say Little went on to another place, and he was spotted on security cameras entering the Mercy Islamic Center just before a fire started there. Little is expected back in court on Thursday. We'll have more on this story and on those charges tonight on our newscast and at KARE11.com. Well, at some point today, a decision could come down in the case against former Minneapolis police officer Tou Thao. Today marks the end of the 90-day window Judge Peter Cahill gave himself to find this verdict. Thao is charged with aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter in the murder of George Floyd. Thao is already serving a 3.5-year federal sentence for violating Floyd's civil rights. Well, people in the metro area are finally catching a break from the floodwater. The rivers are receding this afternoon following the crest last week. Areas like Stillwater, St. Paul, and Delano saw waters as high as 10 feet above flood levels. Now, most of those areas are dipping back down to minor or moderate flooding. And just a few minutes ago, a red flag warning placed in parts of western and central Minnesota as strong wind continues its move across our state. The Department of Natural Resources says 20 counties face extreme fire risks conditions right now. You can see a full map of those areas affected. That means no campfires, no open burns until at least 8 o'clock tonight. The wind is definitely the story in weather. It has been for several days, it feels like. Jamie, what's going on out there?
Yeah, we have these strong winds, we have some drier conditions, and we also have some warming temperatures. That combination leads to, again, the elevated fire risk of outside, and that's why we have this red flag warning. This could be expanded. We could see fire weather watches issued as the afternoon goes on, and likely these conditions will persist even into tomorrow. Here's a look at the relative humidity, and again, as the temperatures are going to be climbing, these relative humidities will be dropping. That's that combination of dry conditions, whether it's the vegetation or just the air condition. Then you throw in the strong winds on top of it, which would fan any fires outside. So it is just a bad combination for any outdoor flames, outdoor heat sources. So winds right now anywhere from 20 to about 30 miles an hour. And you can take a look at those temperatures. We are going to be on a warming trend for the rest of the week. We're looking at numbers right now in the 40s and 50s. A little bit of cloud cover for the eastern half of the region as clouds continue to more or less rotate in from the northeast direction. So a little mix of sun and clouds for the eastern part of the state, much more sunshine looking to western Minnesota. There's what we're expecting for your afternoon temperatures. Those clouds keeping it chilly to say the least in northern Wisconsin and up in the Arrowhead. The rest of us enjoying some mid 50s, which will turn into 60s, and we could quite possibly see a 70 by Thursday, and that would feel fantastic.
Into it. Thanks, Janie, so much. If you want to keep up with that awesome forecast, download the KARE 11 weather app. That's where you'll get personalized forecasts, weather alerts, and you can look at that live radar anytime you need to. It's free in all the stores. And let's talk summer music with that kind of forecast. Great news. A whole bunch of big acts are coming to our state this summer. Target Field just announced the Killers and Imagine Dragons will be headlining the first TC Summer Fest in July. Then in August, the Black Keys will be playing the Grandstand at the Minnesota State Fair. Plus, Aerosmith just announced their final tour set to kick off this summer, and they're going to be at the X this fall. Leaders from the Minnesota Asian community are at our state capitol today, and coming up tonight at 5, Sharon's going to have more on the changes they are pushing our lawmakers to make. And before we go this afternoon, take a look at this. The ice is finally breaking up on Lake Mille Lacs. Thanks to Al, who shared this photo with us on our That's So Minnesota Facebook page. The Department of Natural Resources says it could still be a teeny bit until ice out is officially called on Mille Lacs, and even longer until those waters are warm enough to take a swim in. Well, that's all for us here on KARE 11 News Midday. We'll see you back in just about 30 minutes with more of today's top news. Take care.